So, there you see, these are the sniper towers they're hanging out in. And we did, I believe, get some, at least towards the end there, some items. So let's take a look. Got the Scimitar, which is a shotgun. Hurricane, which is also a shotgun. And we got, what was it? We got another weapon recently. I think it was a assault rifle I was saying that might be decent. So let's take a quick look here. If we're talking assault rifles, we want to maximize Garrus's damage above all else. And, well, in his case, does look like he is using our best one here. I mean, this one's tied for the best. That might mean that we have an upgrade for Rex here. The Thunder 4. Yeah, and everything else looks like it's worse, so let's just check with Rex. He's on Avenger 4, which is definitely not as good. Yeah, he can absolutely get an upgrade. Let's go Thunder 4. There we go. And he's not as good with the assault rifle as Garrus is, but he's our second best assault rifle person at the moment, I think. Maybe Ashley, but might be Rex. Then shotguns, we were saying. So that's definitely Rex territory. Firestorm 4. We have Tornado 5, which is a higher level. However, in terms of manufacture, I think these two are perhaps on the same level, or the same tier manufacturer, in that they're both the second worst. But the one that we have, despite being a level lower, is more oriented toward the damage, which is probably what we prefer, whereas in the case of the Tornado by Palliate Armory, this is the heat sink capacity version, or that's the specialization of their shotguns, and especially for shotguns, I'm not really sure how helpful that is, so I think we probably do just stick with what we have here. I think so. At least in Rex's case, and take a quick look at pistols, although in that case we definitely want to make sure that that's us we're prioritizing there, because that is our primary weapon. And we have some things that are better for a given stat, but I think, again, similarly, probably want to prioritize just pure damage. And the sniper is like, yeah, we could give ourselves a better sniper, I suppose, but that's not exactly something that... I mean, on occasion we might try to take some shots with the sniper, but since we have zero training with it, it's not going to work so well for us, so sure, we'll switch to something. But, you know, you could theoretically just keep the weakest possible weapon of the weapon type that you're not going to use, and then just sell the rarer stuff, or Omnigel them. That being said, since in Legendary Edition you can actually aim with even weapons that you're not trained in, it's theoretically at least somewhat usable. Whereas before that, as I was probably saying before, in the base Mass Effect 1 game, if you didn't have any training in a weapon, you could not zoom in or aim, or I mean, you could like move where your reticle was pointed, but you couldn't, hold the aim button. And so, with the sniper rifle in particular, that just meant good luck. You have to no-scope people. So we actually do have a Krogan armor upgrade here for Rex. In fact, that's a huge upgrade. Lose the tiniest bit of tech biotic protection, but that damage protection is like almost double, and same with the shields. In fact, that is double for the shields, so that's pretty sweet. The reason for that is that it is the same type of armor, just 3 levels higher. I'm actually surprised in that case that the tech biotic protection goes down, but let's make the switch. Oh, you know why? Because it's going from... Was it medium? Hold on. Yeah, it was medium Krogan armor to heavy Krogan armor. So, higher level, and also medium to heavy, which does improve the damage protection and shields, although the thing that lighter armors specialize in is actually that tech and biotic protection. So that's why we lose a tiny bit there. Still absolutely worth it, though. So, let's see. Anything else? I mean, we looked at potential armor switches for Garrus, but we definitely want to keep the stuff on for him, because he's the one that is giving us the protection against the hazards. Let's jump in here. And there's a lot of enemies. Like a whole lot of enemies. Let's keep that drop. Let's save here as well, because this looks dangerous. This looks very dangerous, in fact. So, let's also not have our sniper rifles equipped when we're indoors like this. Let's see, this is looking like, for Rex, probably a shotgun scenario. For Garrus, probably an assault rifle scenario, and for us, we're likely just sticking with the pistol. And then I'm expecting, based on who we saw outside, that we're likely looking at some human, or at least organic enemies. Not any robots, by the looks of things. So just taking a quick look here at our ammo types, and because it looks like, at least for us, yeah, we're using tungsten rounds, which is the synthetic damage, and that's not going to help us in that case. So that's the kind of thing we'd probably want to switch around. Incendiary ammo for a decent amount of damage over time, and also reducing the target's accuracy is not a bad idea, especially for a weapon. Since we're using a pistol, it's not going to do a ton of damage. Certainly not compared to Garrus. I mean, it's solid, but it's not going to be... We're not going to be carrying the team from a damage standpoint. So let's go with, yeah, incendiary rounds for us. It's maybe a better alternative. And also, do we have something? I mean, weapon stability is not terrible. Better combat scanners. More stability. That's stability 4. What do we have equipped right now? 3, or recoil damper, basically the equivalent of that. So we have 14 stability. We can change over to 15 stability. Oh boy. Oh boy. How exciting. Then for Rex, let's see. We went with shot or hammerhead rounds here, which do weapon force, which means he's more likely to knock people back or down onto the ground, which is useful in close quarters. That's not necessarily a bad idea here. We might stick with that, even. Polonium damage also, or polonium rounds, also not a bad idea for our pistol. And shredder rounds is the pure damage option. That might be something we use on Garrus. You also have weapon stability, which for a shotgun, not really sure how necessary that is. More along the damage side of things, I would think would be the priority here. I mean, the reduced heat absorption is potentially a bit of a problem. So that means that is significantly limiting the number of shots you can take, because you can already only take 4 shots before that thing overheats. So that's a little bit of a double-edged sword, but we'll try it here. And then for Garrus, you're going assault rifle. Yeah, we don't want tungsten rounds. Those, I think, are going to be useless here. Let's instead swap over to... Let's go pure damage here with organics, so shredder rounds. That's what I think we're going to run into. And then heatsink is not a bad idea with an assault rifle, because, of course, you're going to be firing that for long periods of time. Stability, also not a bad idea, because as you're continuing to shoot it, it's going to become less and less accurate. So that's an option as well. Take your pick. Might actually go with some stability here. Let's try that out. Okay, so I'm expecting a lot of enemies. Is there anything in here before we open things up? Whatever these things are, but I don't know what those are. So, like I said, expecting lots of human-like enemies, and that means that, in particular, our crowd control abilities, which is where we come in, I think are going to be pretty key. Things like lift and throw are going to be potential game changers. So, here goes nothing. You guys... Oh, yep, they found us. Okay. So... At least one person has seen us. Yeah, we can see some of the red people are moving. I mean, if you want to fight us one at a time, that's fine with me. That would be fantastic, actually. I would love if that one person who's moving on our map in the bottom right corner would have actually come and attacked us, because that would have been ideal. Instead, alright, that may still be the one person who can see us, but you're there. We could, like... Bro, Garrus just randomly used Adrenaline Burst. Thanks. That's really helpful. Tempted to throw them against the wall for some potential damage there. There are also some explosive containers, which could be very helpful if these people try to move in on us. Which I'm gonna, you know, try to get more of their attention. I'm just trying not to get completely swarmed. But now we start to see we're getting some attention here. This guy is just chilling right next to that. If he could move, that'd be great. Garrus? Okay, so like this guy is a pirate. Let's, while he's over here, let's maybe all overload his shields and then, oh, well, Garrus has kind of already done his thing there. Why don't you throw him, Rex? I was kind of open, yeah, that I was going to try to save the explosive container to take out more than just one enemy, although I think it did hit him, based on how that is currently green. He's taking some toxic damage. Okay, so yeah, I'm moving in a little more here, but I do like this spot where we are hanging out at the moment, because we can kind of use that choke point to avoid getting completely overwhelmed. But let's maybe lift them here where there's a bunch of them. Oh, that did not hit as many people as I was hoping that would hit. Then, can I sabotage? Ooh, they've got a Krogan. I don't like that. We're now a sabotage specialist, by the way. Rex, if you could, like, blow up all these people who are just hanging out right there with a Carnage, that'd be great. I do not want this pirate to get up in melee range. He will be very dangerous there. Let's throw him. And try to take him out ASAP. There you see. Actually, it took us a while to take him down, because he is a Krogan, so he does regenerate life rather quickly, like our Krogans do. Okay, that's another one down. Now, if we could, like, say, this guy looks like a Turian. He is also shielded up. So, oh no, that's shield boost, not overload. I mean, sure, you can if you want. But I was kind of thinking that overload would be nice right about now. You could also blast him to smithereens. That'd be great, I suppose. Some great cover you got there, buddy. Not really doing you much good, I'm afraid. Now we can overload, although you don't have shields anymore. This is looking like a good time to go kablammy. Or just take you out ourselves. Okay, so that's many of them. Should be comparatively easier for people to move in now. So, I forget if there is a command to get them to just move next to us. Had told them to stay there. Okay, in fact, people remaining, at least in one case, are up on that top floor there. Don't know if anyone else is actually still down here with us. They may not. Yep, you are. In fact, you are a sniper who is about to shoot us in the face. So let's make that not happen by sabotaging you, and then we'll also lift you, and then shoot you in the face. I thought Garrus was an enemy for a second there. Okay, so... Ooh, you came down to see us. Let's throw you. In fact, there's 3 of you here. Okay, that's more than I was expecting. Then, let's sabotage you. You can't mess with us as easily. Sorry, slaver. That doesn't sound good. Can we overload you? We're now an electronic specialist. Okay? Apparently it was just that time for, most of our skills. Let's carnage this guy. Is this person still alive? They very much are. Shoot them in the face as well. Or at least try to. Now, don't do this with Krogan. When you're going against a Krogan enemy, you do not want to be standing right next to them. They will annihilate you. This guy is a sniper. But we can do that. Okay, so I believe that may be the last of them. At least as it currently stands. We got this door up here. We've got an upstairs as well. Definitely going to want to check that stuff out. There's also a fuel tank here. This is a very explosive thing that we could have shot as well. We used some of the explosive containers to take out at least, or weaken at least one enemy there. polonium rounds, cryo rounds, grenade as well. At least a reload of a grenade. Anything else here? There may not be, other than, of course, that door. Let's check out what's on this top floor. Actually, I don't recall as to whether we want to check out the top floor first or the bottom floor first. There is actually, over here, we climb onto this. I think we can. Can we? I know in some locations that look kind of like this, you can actually climb this and then go up
Lead the way.
onto these areas that are elevated like this, and there actually can be some loot there. Thought that was going to be the case, but at least in the original Mass Effect 1, there's a specific button to climb up on these types of things, but I think that changed in Legendary Edition, and now it's basically just automated whenever you run near cover or next to something that you can climb up on. So, well, as you can see, Shepard insists on... there we go! That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, I basically just pressed the same button that I was pressing before, I think. But I'm not entirely sure why Shepard, on that occasion, actually did decide to climb up here. Because, there we go again. I mean, I was pressing the same button I was pressing basically that entire time. But, so the reason why you want to come up here... let's just take a look here. I think there may be some loots to be had. May not be right up top. Oh, hey, Garrus. What's up, man? He goes down. But, on some of these other crates, perhaps? I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. Might also be able to climb up from where Rex is, to tell you the truth. But, now we can't actually go on this ledge. But, I suppose there actually isn't. But, in that case, well, now you know. It is, in fact, possible to go up here. But, I don't think there actually is anything for us to do there. So, let's take a look in here first. Again, I don't recall as to whether we should be technically opening up the bottom or top floor first. Let's see. We've got crate. We've got medical station. Let's check these out. We've got a Raikou. And so that's a pistol. That could be an upgrade for us, potentially, in Lancer. Actually, got lots of stuff here. Tornado 5. I think Tornado 4 was Rex's shotgun. So that may be an upgrade as well. Avenger. Oh, look at that. A new Omni tool. We're talking about that previously, how those are quite rare. So definitely a good thing to get that. Now, technically speaking, it may be, I would have to double check this, but it may be that the locations on which you get new Omni tool and biotic amps are actually fixed. That it's not random. It may be that they're actually in specific predetermined locations, and what you can do in that case is actually deliberately go to them at whatever point in time you feel like you need an upgrade for one of those things. So if you wait, then of course you'll be a higher level, and by extension, there's a good chance that the Omni tool or biotic amps will be a higher level, and since they are so rare, that is a nice thing to be able to do. So at least for the best of Omni tools and biotic amps, in theory, that would be the way to go. But like I said, it's just hard to get those upgrades in general, so I don't think these are gonna be, you know, game-changing ones that we have done the suboptimal route by doing this quest relatively early, but just bear that in mind that in theory, that is potentially something you could consider doing, is try to time when and where you are actually going after those types of upgrades. So we get a medium human armor, which we have not seen too many of, and another Omni tool. So yeah, I think this is, just based on the quantity of Omni tools we're getting here, this definitely does appear to be a mission on which you can make a point of getting, well, basically farming Omni tools. So let's take a look here. We also did level up at one point there, and we got some items just from taking out the enemies. We got a new assault rifle, sniper. I think the Naginata is solid. Then kinetic buffer could be a solid armor upgrade as well. I think that's the one that gives... Is that just the pure damage reduction? It might be. So for the pistol... we have a Stiletto 5. They're all 4s. Yeah, I don't think anything's going to be an upgrade for us there. Rex, we were talking shotgun. We're saying Tornado 5. Ooh. Okay, so it is a little bit lower damage. It is a little bit less accuracy. It is a lot better from a heatsink standpoint. So, I think we were looking at Shotgun 4, or rather a Tornado 4 previously, and saying, we'd prioritize the damage. But at this point, when the damage is almost the same, accuracy is almost the same, but heatsink capacity is almost double, that might be worth doing, especially because we are putting on the rail extension, which is a armor, or rather a weapon upgrade that reduces the heat absorption rate, making it easier for that weapon to overheat. So we don't want that. So might be a reason to, if we're going to use that type of upgrade, make a point of making sure that his weapon doesn't overheat. Then we were talking about potentially sniper upgrades for Garrus here, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Again, yeah, sniper and assault rifle wise, for prioritizing damage, I think we're sticking with what we have here. The big thing is that we got a bunch of new Omni tools. Whoa! So logic arrest is big. That's one of the good ones, for sure. So this, in fact, might be... I'm not sure if this is the best base type of Omni tool or not. In which case you, like I said, you would want to make a point of trying to get one of these or several of these logic arrest tools laid on in the game so you can get it as highest level possible, which would be 10. But at least for now, it is a nice upgrade that I think we would definitely want to use for ourselves. The tech cooldown bonus, a little lower than what we just threw on with the Chameleon tool, but I think at this point, the shield and med charge bonus, yeah, probably still worth it. And that means we have some flexibility here with what we give Garrus from a leftovers standpoint. We can have him use the Chameleon tool that we were just putting on Shepard briefly. Tech cooldown bonus versus... Yeah, that's probably a little bit better for Garrus. Then we have a couple of points to burn here. So I think what we do is let's keep on throwing some points into Bastion. It's not super inspiring at the moment for just the pistol accuracy, but cooldown reduction, I mean, it's 1% each time, so that's not a big deal, but there are a lot of skills we're using with cooldowns, so that does start to add up, and it's really, once we can get to the stasis specialization, that's the big payoff. So we're waiting for that. Then, Rex, we were saying, now that you have the Master Immunity, we threw in an extra point on throw just to make it a little bit stronger. We could throw in a little bit more. Be nice to get you to advanced overkill if possible, although it would take a little bit of patience for that to happen. Yeah, I think we should just get to that, and then once we've done that, we'll just throw in most, if not all, of our remaining points into throw, I think. If not, maybe a few more into Battle Master just to make it a little bit tankier. So then, that leaves us with Garrus. And for you, what were we doing most recently? So we didn't upgrade, or we didn't spend any points on you recently because you had all of your skills fully allocated at the time. So, I think, yeah, I mean, you're pretty darn squishy. It'd be kind of nice just to get electronics unlocked so we can give you some form of additional shields, although I'm not sure how feasible that is when it costs us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in first stage just to unlock electronics, and then, 1, 2 in electronics before you even get any additional shields. So that's 8 points. That is a lot. That is a lot. So, I mean, at some point, perhaps, yes, but maybe short term, well, it would be what? Accuracy 3%, damage 1% with weapons. That's not super exciting either. So, yeah. I mean, the thing with any of these tech abilities is that we've upgraded them further than Garrus has, so they're gonna be lackluster compared to what we have going on, but as we saw a little bit in that previous encounter, just having them is kind of helpful, so that we can, use as many as possible and take out a crowded room of people. So, yeah, I mean, first aid is almost a throwaway for you, is the part where I'm hesitating. So, let's just do this. Okay, so that was the bottom floor. Let's check the top floor here. I looked around up there. Like I said, it is possible to do that by standing on those boxes there, and I suspect on future occasions we will find times when, yes, there will actually be loot there. Let's see what's in here. We're trying to, as a reminder, rescue Nasana's sister, who apparently got kidnapped by these slavers. Nasana Dantius has hired you to rescue her sister Dahlia from a mercenary group working out in the Artemis Tau cluster. Find Dahlia, go to the Macedon system in the Artemis Tau cluster, and infiltrate the mercenary base. So we've done that, but as of right now, no sign of her sister, and still not really any sign of her sister. Okay, so we get kinetic stabilizers here, which were some of the items some of the upgrades we were using previously on our weapons. Ablative coating, no, I think that one's the pure damage reduction, I think. That's hard decryption, we'll do that in just a second. Oh, yeah, we got a couple of hard decryptions here. Okay, so let's do this one. It's gonna be tricky. Okay, this angle of approach. That was bad timing. Oh, I should have had that. Hold on, brute force it. Last second, we got it. Alright, Stinger, Storm, Tsunami, yeah, they're all 4s. Not really sure that's going to help us too much. Let's do this. And I like this opening. And I do not really see many opportunities here. Oh man, talk about last second there. Okay, Shredder rounds, that's useful for taking out the organics, so I like that. Kinetic stabilizers again. Okay. So I believe that's everything in here other than this desk that we can investigate, so let's check this out. You discover evidence that the Asari leading these slavers and Nasana Dantius, an important ambassador on the Citadel, are sisters. You should return to the Presidium and confront Nasana with this. Download the evidence indeed. So, the reason why we couldn't find her sister was because her sister was one of the slavers. In fact, as you may remember, I was commenting about how there was an Asari slaver, and chances are that was her. So, well, that does mean that we were set up quite a bit here. Wasn't actually that she was asking us to rescue her sister. She basically just wanted to try to sabotage, ambush, and kill us. So, yeah, thanks, Nasana. We got some serious talking to do. That means we will want to head back to the Citadel to do that, because of course that is where she is. And I don't think that there's anything around the base itself on the exterior over here. I think we're good. We'll just do a quick scan. Like, is that? I think that's just the stabilizers for this cover. Yeah. Don't think that's a crate, even though from a distance it kind of looked like it for a second. Yeah, so I think that means we just head back to the Mako and we'll head on out of here. Okay, so let us return to the Normandy, because, I mean, we can take a quick look at our map here, but like I was saying before, I think we did a pretty thorough check, so we should be good. Okay, so if we open up our journal here, then I think we will find we look at the mission we were just doing, Asari Diplomacy, and it will now say, Masana Dantius, well, yes, has hired us. Okay, that hasn't changed, but go to the embassy lounge on the Presidium level of the Citadel and tell Masana Dantius that her sister, Dahlia, is dead. And, well, you see, she was, not the slave you were trying to, or, prisoner or what have you, and you were trying to suggest she was. No, she perhaps was running that whole thing. And have to imagine you knew that. We have some evidence to back that claim up. So, that is definitely something that will take us back to the Citadel. So we'll want to get back there soon. Question is, are there other things we want to do before we do that? Because generally speaking, I would say a good rule of thumb is whenever you're on the Citadel, it's a good opportunity to turn in a bunch of quests, because there are a lot of quests that you finish on the Citadel. So I think our general rhythm is going to be go out into the wide world of the Milky Way galaxy, get a few missions done on remote locations, and then head back to the Citadel, turn in a few things here and there, maybe do a quest or two that is entirely based in the Citadel, and that's sort of, the general pattern we're going to follow. For that reason, I think we might go with one, possibly even two more quests out in the Great Unknown before we do head back, because I think there's still a couple more things we can do out here, at least. In that case, what would we like that to be? So, we know about Dr. Salient. That could certainly be the answer. Other than that, we have a bunch of the passive stuff. We do have UNC Cerberus. This is one that I mean, you could do it now, but technically I think I would prefer to wait a little bit on that. Then this is actually, despite not having Citadel in the name, at the first step I believe is on the Citadel. That's not something we can currently do out in the wide world. Consort I think is also Citadel at the moment. Yeah, speak with Shair. That is Citadel as well. Then UNC Privateers is in the Strennis system, so that is out into a totally different area. That might be worth checking out soon. Then we have a bunch of things that are purely based on the Citadel. Strange Transmission is outside of the Citadel, so that's another potential option here. Let's see. I think, why don't we go with Dr. Salient here? This is, of course, a very important mission for Garrus. There's a reason why it has his name on it. It's the one that he requested that we do for him. Told us that he had this encounter with Dr. Salient, a geneticist. He regrets letting him escape the first time. Hopes we'll be able to track him down and bring him to justice. So, Garrus did know the coordinates of his last known whereabouts. So it's in the Herschel system, in the Kepler Verge. That is also a place we've not yet been. And, just a second here. We hop onto our world map. So we've now done everything in the Macedon system. We have done Knossos, because that's where Therum was, like I was saying before. We did Sparta, I forget, this might have been where, Admiral Kahoku's people, or one of the relatively other quests we did, was. Don't remember if we've done anything in Athens yet or not, so this might just be worth a quick check to verify, because, again, just being able to say we're done with the Artemis Tau cluster, I think would make things a lot easier for us long term. So let's check it out. Okay. Salamis. How could I forget? How could I forget Salamis? Okay, so we have definitely explored here, or at least looked at the planets here. Just a question of, did we actually have any unfinished missions here? And again, like we were seeing in a previous area, if there are any spots that we can uncover something in this asteroid belt, then it will still show up here, even if we saw it previously, although I don't think there is anything there. Nausicaa. No. Circe. Also no. Nothing we can land on there. Outermost planet? Pluto? Pharos. Different kind of Pharos. I do remember this one. Because, no, it's not the one with the main quest on it. Yeah, so there's nothing here that we can land on. It doesn't appear. So perhaps we'll have reason to come back here on a future occasion, but at least as of right now, nothing happening in the Athens system there. So, in that case, yeah, let's actually... It was what? Let me double check. Where exactly is the place we're looking for? Strenus system was one of them. Is that this one? No. Kepler Verge Herschel system. Okay. Kepler Verge Herschel system for Dr. Salia. So let's zoom out in that case. We're looking for Kepler Verge, which I think is... Yep, out here. How I remember that years later, I don't know. Okay, then Herschel system, yes, there is this Newton system over here, which at some point in time we'll want to check out. Not sure if we have any quests that are specifically directing us here at the moment, so certainly, at least as of right now, we'll head over to Herschel first. For some reason, I was really expecting for us to get some kind of message that time from somebody telling us about some other quest they want us to do for them, or talking about a quest that we had recently finished, but not this time. This time, we've got Tungel, which is a massive terrestrial world nearly twice the size of Earth. With a dense atmosphere of nitrogen and ethane, its scorching hot surface is mainly composed of iron, with extensive deposits of heavy metals and radioactives. It is a mineralogical treasure trove, and many corporations are lobbying for mining rights. Despite that, we cannot examine it for any resources ourselves. It is purely off limits. It is quite hot, 224 degrees Celsius and twice the gravity of Earth, twice the atmosphere as well. So yeah, it would be kind of difficult to make stuff happen there, but you know, with machines, I suppose, could at least harvest some of those minerals. That's Tungel. Then we have Matal. Several attempts to chart Matal have been made, but none have been successful. By normal standards, a small rock planet, Matal has a dense atmosphere composed of carbon dioxide and argon. The surprising amount of water vapor, fogs and rain are more common on the barren, lifeless surface. Matal is pleasant enough to be considered a terraforming prospect, though its low mass and the high radiation of the energetic blue star Herschel place it fairly far down on the list. That's an interesting question. You know, again, in such a... Now that we have access to faster than light travel, such a humongous galaxy that we suddenly can explore to a much greater extent, there are options in terms of potential places to try to terraform and make colonies on. But this one is somewhat Earth-like, half the atmospheric pressure of Earth. Temperature-wise, it's certainly not bad, but yeah, half the gravity. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but long-term does make it a little bit tough. Yeah, interesting. Nothing we can actually take from it, though. Not this time. Okay, so let's see. There's another planet out here. Lugon. Just an interesting shade of green. Lugon's hydrogen-helium atmosphere is given a fairly dramatic emerald tint by chlorine and ionized gases. It has nearly 100 moons. Okay. Nothing special for us to do there. You do see there's the MSV Fedele. Fedele is a no-loon-class modular conveyor of human design. In addition to the standard cargo bay, the hull has several biological research modules attached. Registry, private owner, Dr. R. Hart. And you see there, we can in fact board it. So we can go on, but we will wait to do that until we have just checked out the remainder of these last few areas, namely this asteroid belt and then that planet on the outer orbit. I kind of trimmed the edge of this a bit, just make sure we didn't miss anything there, though I think we're good. So let's just take a look at Clobaka, not to be confused with his distant relative Chewbacca. Clobaka is a moderately sized terrestrial world with a hazy hydrocarbon atmosphere. Its surface is mainly composed of chlorides with deposits of solid and liquid form hydrocarbons. And it's, well, mean, the atmosphere is a little bit less than Earth. It's on the cold side, but not ridiculous. Gravity is also a little bit less than Earth, but not ridiculous. Sounds more like just from a... Well, I mean... From an elemental composition standpoint, could it work? Might be tough, but who knows? No mention of any attempts for colonization here. Further away from the huge star that they were saying would be an issue on, what was it? On Matzol. Might mean radiation not as much of an issue. So, might even be a better option. Who knows? But anyways, as you can probably tell, the place we are looking to go is in fact the MSV Fedele, or however you pronounce it. So this is where we are heading now. Let's do it.